only 3 types of Pokemon trainers out there right now. 1, you follow Pokemon Go, you know everything about it, and you're good. 2, the trainers that know Pokemon Go but haven't been keeping up and they kind of need some refreshers on what, is happening in Pokemon Go. And then there's 3. You guys just picked up the game and you have no idea what this is and what's going on. Hello guys, I'm your host MomoJiri and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to play Pokemon Go. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. So, of course, the main part of this game is to capture Pokemon. And it's very self-explanatory and very, very simple. Download the app, you'll get a starter. From there, you can continue on your journey. First, just walk around. Just walk around and you're able to find a Pokemon. Now, you encounter a Pokemon. What do? You see that there is a white icon around the Pokemon. Then you see that there's a circle getting bigger and, getting smaller, going back and getting smaller over and over again, right? Now, when you take your Pokeball, you could flick it. And the harder you flick, the further it goes. And guys, there's a big chance of the Pokeball actually missing. So be mindful of how many Pokeballs you have left. Because when you use one, it doesn't restock even if it doesn't catch the Pokemon. You throw it and miss, you lose a Pokeball. So be mindful of how many you have. Then throw it. By the time it gets to the Pokemon, if it hits it when the circle inside is the closest it could be to the circle on the outside, you get a little added bonus. But if the Pokeball smacks the Pokemon in the head, on the tail, anywhere at all, you caught the Pokemon. The closer it is to the circle, the more points you get. So, it's cool. Now, you just caught your Pokemon. You could go into your bag and nickname it if you want. And that circle in the middle actually shows a certain thing about the Pokemon, how hard it is to catch. If it's green, it's not going to come out the Pokeball. If it's orange, it's going to be a bit more difficult. And if it's red, it is almost guaranteed to pop out the Pokeball. So you're going to have a very frustrating time catching that Pokemon. So be very mindful of that circle there to, judge which Pokeball you're going to use on it, right? Then we go into some stats about the Pokemon. When you're battling it and when you have it in your bag, after you capture it, you see that it has a CP value. That is known as combat points. That determines how strong your Pokemon actually is and compared to other Pokemon. A higher CP means it does more damage in battle. And you could actually increase the CP value of your Pokemon in 2 ways. One, when it evolves, it gains more CP value, just like in the mainstream games, the Pokemon gets stronger. Also, you could actually level up with Stardust. Stardust is what you get every time you catch a Pokemon. I thought each Pokemon has a certain number of points. No, they mainly all give you like 100 or so, or 200 Stardust points. And you can check the Pokemon, and the higher level you are, kind of the higher evolutionary line you are, the more CP, the more Stardust it will take to get to the next CP level, basically. And then from there we can talk about, and you caught your Bulbasaur. Now what do? I want to evolve it. How do I evolve it? I can evolve it, right? Yes, you can, folks. You can evolve your Bulbasaur, Charmander, anything actually that can evolve by getting candies to that specific Pokemon. The more Pokemon you catch, the more candies you get. Every time you catch a Pokemon, you get 3 candies to that Pokemon's evolutionary line. And the more you get, the more easy it is for you to evolve the Pokemon. So guys, make sure you catch the same Pokemon over and 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 over again, right? Now we can talk about Pokemon eggs. Pokemon eggs can be found, at events, but also at Pokespots. Pokespots are at monuments, really important parts in your town. So if you go to Times Square, you're going to find like 100 of them. If you go to like Salt Lake City, who knows how many you're going to find. But there you could find items, depending on your level, you could find Pokeballs, Great Balls, or Ultra Balls. And of course, you could find incubators and other stuff. Now, incubators are what you need to hatch eggs. Eggs are what you get at Pokespots. So, go to Pokespot, you get an egg. Hopefully you get an incubator. If you don't, keep trying, right? Now, eggs are just like in the main series game. You get them, but there's one difference. You can't just get them and then just walk around. What you have to do is you have to get them and you put them in an incubator. You already get an incubator that could hold, that could hatch an infinite number of Pokemon, but only one at a time. You can also get incubators at Coin Shop. The Coin Shop, you get them for around 150 Pokecoins, right? And these incubators only hatch 3 eggs, one at a time. So you hatch 3 Pokemon eggs and it's gone, right? And you just have to walk. I think each egg has a different rate, or you just have to walk 5 kilometers for each damn egg. So that's a lot of walking, guys. That means those eggs could actually have Pokemon that you don't have, or Pokemon that are hard to get. So guys, get those eggs, hatch them, and go on a little walk. Maybe even go on a jog. And you get some Pokemon. There, when you're catching Pokemon, you can actually, well, when you're looking for Pokemon, you can use something called incense. Incense, if you use it on yourself, well, you're going to use it on yourself. When you use it, Pokemon are lured to you, so it's more easier to find Pokemon because they'll come to you for about 30 minutes. You can get them when you level up, you get them at Pokespots, anywhere. You can also buy them. Or you can also buy eggs too. There's something called incense modules. Those you could put at Pokespots, and Pokemon will be lured to these spots for 30 minutes. And anyone will have an increased rate of finding Pokemon when you put out a Pokespot. So if you want to be a helpful person of the universe, put them at Pokespots. If you don't, whatever. Also, with the eggs, guys, the app can actually determine how fast you're going. So it's either you're walking or jogging to actually get those miles in. You can't be in a car, train, bus, airplane, spaceship, ship, nothing. You have to manually walk. So that's a problem, guys. So you can't go fast, you have to just walk. Then, now we can actually talk about Pokecoins. Pokecoins is the currency of this game. And you can get them in 2 ways. You can shell out the money and buy them. Or number 2, you can actually get them in-game by holding gyms. Every 21 hours, you get a coin as determined by the amount of gyms you hold. So if you hold 7 gyms, you get 70 coins. You get 10 coins for every gym you hold. So get those gyms, really hold on to them, make sure they're nice and strong, and you guys could actually go pretty far. Also, this game is different from the main series game because you level as a trainer. So the more Pokemon you catch, the more times you evolve, and the amount of eggs you hatch. When you hatch an egg, you get 1,000 experience. If it's a new Pokemon, you get 500 on top of that. So hatch those eggs, guys, level up, and every time you level up, you get more perks, more items, and you're even able to find better and stronger Pokemon. We could talk about gyms, guys. Gyms are what people have been really wondering about and wondering how they could train their Pokemon. Here is how you do it. First, you have to get to level 5. So catch Pokemon, evolve Pokemon, hatch them eggs, and you can go to a gym. Now, if you see a gym and it's silver, gray, whatever, it is a gym that isn't occupied by anyone. You could go get that gym, capture it, and place a Pokemon there. If it's colored by someone else, well, as soon as you're level 5, you can pick a team. Red, blue, yellow. Team Blue here, right? So guys, join Team Blue. I didn't say it. And you can go into gyms. Now, if you're Team Blue and there's a gym held by Team Red or Team Orange, you could actually go and battle them. And you could use up to 6 Pokemon, and determining how much you've trained your Pokemon determines how well you do. Now, the attacks are automatic in the gym. As soon as you go into the battle, just click, 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 click. You can either click them, click your Pokemon to launch attacks, or you can actually swipe left and right to dodge their attacks, which is pretty cool, but it's kind of hard to do. So just mash that attack button until they're dead. That's a great thing to do. Now, gyms are kind of prestigious, so the more prestigious a gym is, the better or stronger the Pokemon are. So you could go in there, beat the gym, and you're fine. And then you could actually train your Pokemon there so they could gain some CP, gain some levels, and they can actually raise the prestige level of your gym. If your prestige level hits 0, the gym is gone and anyone can take over it. So be sure to, really buff up at the gym. Yeah, gym. Right? Now, we could talk about medals. Medals are just like in any achievement. You do shit, you get rewarded. Basically with experience and a bunch of other stuff that you could get in-game. Now, we could talk about the specs. With Android, you could go from a 4.0 to a 6.0.1. Those are the system requirements in Android. You know Android? That's probably from like KitKat to, I think we're in Marshmallow. So those ranges you could do, right? And in iOS, you need an iOS of 8 or higher. So, all your Apple users out there. Right, now guys, I've informed you on how to play Pokemon Go. So guys, get those caps, get your backpacks, get your Pokeballs, your Pokédex, and go out there and catch them all. Now, when you're actually looking for a Pokemon, if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you can see a little icon there that you can click on, and it tells you when a Pokemon is nearby. Now, it can tell you up to 9 Pokemon that are nearby you, which is pretty cool. So, click on it and you see little tiny feet there, right? Now, it actually determines how far closer you are to that Pokemon. So, if it's if it's just 1 foot, you just walk around a little bit and it's basically right on top of you, it's right there on you. If you see 2, you have to walk a little bit more to get to it. If you see 3, you need to, go and, walk a bit around to actually get that Pokemon to be seen. So if you see like little grass shaking and everything, keep walking around and you'll find a Pokemon there, right guys?